gang, Merlin Don on the mic. Today we talk again about martial deeds with the starter deck support, of course. The reason why I didn't create any video the past few days is because I'm preparing for the offline regionals in France next week, and this is why I'm investing my time there instead of creating content at the moment. But I assure you, after the offline regionals in France, I will invest more time in creating some content for you guys. So let's go to today's video. We talked about Teach and about the support that he gained with these starter decks. I have tested, I would say, many hours the past days with different versions of the deck, and my conclusion is that this card is mandatory in the deck. You need to have it at least, let's say you need to have at least 2 copies of it. You can also go up to 3, even to 4 copies in some ratios if you play less docus, right? But this card is bad. Sometimes it feels that this card is really good, but most of the times, believe me, after the testing that I made, I strongly believe that this card is bad. Maybe in the future, if we combine it with also with other Blackbeard cards, it might be better off, or let's say that if we don't have the current method, the method that we are in at the moment, then I would consider, of course, to play this card. So now that the starter decks are pretty, let's say, cheap, if I were you and if you would like to play in the future Teach, I would grab 2 copies of the starter deck, so that you will have 4 copies of each of them, because I do believe that in the upcoming releases we will get more support, more Blackbeard support in order to build, let's say, decks around these cards. So let's go to the build, and then we will check some games together. We play 4 Stronger and 4 Caribou, so a total of 8 2Ks in this deck. After the testing that I made, let me tell you that it feels right if you have at least 8 to 10 2Ks in this deck. So I wouldn't go down to 6 or 7, because don't forget that we do have a format with 6K leaders, with leaders who buff themselves to 7K, right? So it's a little bit hard at the moment for the 5K leaders. So I wouldn't consider playing less than 8 2Ks. Lafitte, we play 4 copies of him because we do like to search and we do like the pseudo blocker. Doku. There are many Doku haters out there. I know. But let me tell you that in the early game, this is such a strong card. This is such a strong card because we can combine it with our Van Agur, or maybe with a Tempest Kick, and KO something of 4 cost or even greater, right? And if the opponent decides to attack you, to attack the Doku, then you just throw a card. And if they decide not to attack you, you play your Martial Teach, and let's say that, so I speak about the 7 cost, right? And let's say that your opponent doesn't have anything that you can KO this turn. You can KO your own Doku and grab a card from the own KO effect that he has. So it's like really strong. 4 Burgesses, I have seen lists running like 2 of them. No, this is by far one of the best cards in the whole game. you don't want to run less than 4 copies. If you do, you're not a Blackbeard player at the current state. Wolf. You can either use the Wolf here, you can either use let's say the Vasco here, you can either use Katarina Devon here. You just need a blocker that you can grab with your Kuzan if you need to, because there are some games that you have a Kuzan on your hand and you desperately need to call a blocker instead of Burgess or Vanagur. So we play one copy of him, Vanagur. The combination with the Tokyo and with Teats is great, also with the Tempest Kick, if you get played. We have Kuzan. We know Kuzan, we bring everything back that we need to from the graveyard. We play the new Kuzan, one copy of it. One copy because I do think that this card is bad, but don't forget that it has 1 key counter, so it's not a dead card in your hand. And there might be a scenario where you play this card because you need a blocker, and not only you get to block with him, but once he's dead, you bring back something else, like Burgess, and on the late game the Burgess is like buffed like crazy, right? And your opponent can't deal with that. Or you bring a Kuzan if your opponent doesn't have any other strings, and you can grab your Burgess and throw a card. So like I said, there are some scenarios that you can play him. So we play 1 copy, 2 copies of Martial Teats. Like I said, if you play 4 copies of Tokyo, then I wouldn't go more than 2 copies of Martial Teats. It's the 7 cost. We play 4 of the 10 cost Teats. When I saw the new cards, I thought that we can go down to the 10 cost Teats, but no, definitely no. We don't go down to the 10 cost Teats. It's still maybe after Burgess the strongest card in the whole deck and one of the best cards in the whole game at the moment. The fact that you have a huge blocker on the field who is also an attacker, the fact that you can negate effects like bonus effect or like the effect of other leaders is like way too strong to play less than 4 copies of it. Tempest Kick because we populate our trash really fast, and then we can have a -3 cost to an opponent's character for just 1 turn, and we replace this card by drawing away a new one. This my aids, of course, populate trash and recycle, so and grab 1 card. Finger Pistol and Black Hole, 2 copies of it and of each, and of course 4 copies of our states because we want to see our states and recycle our deck. Why 2 copies of Seagun? 2 copies of Seagun, and you can also go maybe 3 or 4 copies, but 2 copies of Seagun for 2 reasons. First reason is the trigger. We still have enemies that play characters that are 5 cost or less, KO them from our trigger, we populate our trash, great. And in matchups like green-purple Luffy, if you manage to establish a Vanagur on 5 turn and you have a Seagun in your hand, even if they have the Going Merry and they buff their pudding to a 7k cost, a 7 cost card, what can you do? Even if it's an 8 cost, right? So let's say that's a Luffy and they buff him to 8. You rest your Vanagur, -3, and then this is a 5, so you KO an 8 cost or less. The Black Hole KOs a 4 cost or less, so that means that you can also combine these two to KO a pudding. you can combine these to a buffed pudding, right? And you can combine these to KO a buffed Luffy, the sec Luffy. So we might even consider playing 3 and 3 here, or 4 and 2, or 4 and 3. So we play with the ratios. At the moment, this is I'm really happy with this list, and let me tell you that I had less of expectations for this deck once I tried it. But now, as the time goes by and I test it more and more, I do believe that this is one of the strongest decks in the format. We have good matchups with many meta decks. We have good matchups even with the off meta decks. And it's a black deck. I mean, black decks where are and will be always really strong decks. Okay, so let's see. Let's go and see some games, and we will start with a green purple. Let's start with a green purple. We will double up the speed. So we go first here. We find our stage. We recycle our stage and we grab a dog Q. We don't have the perfect hand here, but we like the dog Q. We play the dog Q. We play the Lafitte, and we recycle and we grab this my aids. And we immediately black hole him. Why? Because we don't want him to search. Luffy, so this deck is great. It's great, really great, because they search the whole time. They search through their deck, they find the pieces that they need, and they do their thing, right? But if you don't let them search, they are lost. And if they don't find their pieces, you will win. So here he plays a Zoro without anything. Of course, we have a Kuzan and Vanagir. We recycle the Vanagir, we grab a Jesus, we play the Kuzan, we grab the Vanagir, we KO this Zoro, we attack the leader. We grab an 1K. And we black hole them. Like I said, we black hole them the whole time. Even if we are low on hand, we still black hole them. So he attacks me with only 6k here in order to play a Frankie, and this is great for us because we can save this Vanagir. Instead of playing the big tits here, so the big tits, with big tits I mean the 7 cost, we could play this one and KO Frankie. But instead, I searched with Lafitte, I grabbed the Kuzan, I cracked the Kuzan for Burgess, and then I KO'd the Frankie with Vanagir and Tokyo, and I played the Caribou, so we played the blocker from our hand. We have 2 bricks in our hand, but that's okay. That's okay, because we do have a blocker. He goes to our Lafitte, to our pseudo blocker, and now he's at 7 don with 1 pudding. I have seen this movie before, I think. Then he goes to our Vanagir and he plays a Sec Luffy, of course, the Sec Luffy. And now he is considering going to my Vanagir. He does that, he restuns his Luffy, and now he's considering on attacking again or not. He doesn't have any open dons, so he just leaves his Luffy standing. We recycle here and we find another Vanagir. Unfortunately, the Sunset Pudding, it's a 5 cost and we don't have anything here. Like here, a Laboon would be great, but we don't have him. We don't have him. So what we do here is we black hole him, of course, and then we go 11k to this pudding. See if he will let that go. And we have many dons open, so he lets that go. It's okay, we play a Vanagir, we play a Caribou, and we pass. He plays yet another Sunset Pudding. Even without the search, he has found the puddings, right? He has found the puddings, and he has already found Sec Luffy, and now we see the Gamma Knife. Now we see the Gamma Knife, that's a tech, and that's a great tech against many decks, and we see more and more Luffy's playing this instead of Luna or both of these decks, Luna and the Gamma Knife. So be careful of it when you play against a green-purple, right? Then he goes to my life, we take, but we are still healthy. We're still healthy at 3 life, and this is great. So we are now at Tendon. We do have our big teats. We have a Van Iger, we have a Stronger. Of course, here there are 2 options. We either go and freeze this Luffy, and this is exactly what we do here, or we could also play the Van Iger, the second one, and KO this Luffy and then go for his life, right? But we play these teats because we want also to establish some characters on the field. And we do have another blocker, an extra blocker, this Caribou. He goes 6 to this Van Iger. He wants to see if we have an extra teats in our hand, which we don't. We had the 2k. And then he goes with his Sanjay inputting, and we block that, of course. As you can see, he's down to 2 cards. He has only 2 cards here. So we recycle these birds, we find the Kuzan, we play the Kuzan, we grab a Van Iger, we KO this Luffy with our Van Iger, and now we are in a really strong position. We go for his putting, which we kill, I think, or he uses a Cam. Okay, he lets that go, and we pass. We pass, it's now his turn. We do have a big blocker, we have a small blocker, we have 3 life, a full board, he has only 3 cards. So this is exactly the spot where you want to bring green purple Luffy. And that's an awkward spot. And as you can see, he doesn't have his pieces. Why? Because we black hole him the whole time and he can't search. If he can't search, he can find the missing pieces, right? So now he has like 3 blockers. He also attacked with 1, so he has only 2 left. First we play our Lafitte. We find a Kuzan here. I was like, okay, you don't have any cards, right? So I brought another Van Iger. I KO'd one of his Sansis. I was like, okay, you know what? We are still healthy. I will go for your board. And you can do whatever you want because you don't have any cards left. And of course, he gives up. He gives up because with the Luffy in his hand, even if he kills 2 of my characters, and as you can see here, we have also Trigger, right? And another Teach here, so it's like almost impossible to win if you play correctly against green purple. Then we have a Smoker. We have a Smoker and we go second here against the Smoker. You will see many Smokers in this meta because Smoker has many good matchups against many leaders, and that's another point. That's another point that you with Teats, you have a good matchup against the Smoker. So Smoker Smoker takes care of the other decks that you have some problems with, and you take care of the Smoker. Okay, so we recycle here, we play a Doku, he attacks us and we counter, and the second one we take, of course. We don't want to go way too fast, too low. And he plays a Smoker. So we hit the Smoker. He doesn't have a tcg on the field, so we can remove the Smoker. We don't want these bunnies. We hate the bunnies, right, guys? Right? So what we do here is we grab a Stronger, we play the Stronger, we do a -2, and then we play our Black Hole. We play our Black Hole, we KO this Smoker, and then we attack his Sansi, and he gives us a counter here. We don't care, we are still healthy. We have a trigger here and we grab the new 7 Kostits. He attacks us. Then again, we don't want to go too low, right? So we play the Tits here, we KO on Sansi for free. And then we go 5 to this Sansi, 5 and not 6. Why? Because we can use... What did I tell you before, guys? So we left one Don open here. So we make him give us one card or a blocker, and he gives us a blocker. What do we do? Tempest Kick -3, Doku, and we punish him. We punish him because he didn't want to KO or Doku, and he gave us here. Like an opportunity, right? Okay, so he plays his kid, but it's okay because he doesn't play any blocker with kid, so it's not that scary, right? And now it's our turn, so I was like, okay, you know what? You can do whatever you want to. I will KO everything except kid, and I will play 2 Kuzans. I will bring 2 of my Burgesses. We draw 2 cards. We recycle this Seagun here. I was like, okay, you know what? We don't even need to negate your own plays, right? So he plays a Smoker, 2 other bodies. He attacks us with his kid, first with his leader, and I think we don't take that. I hope we don't take that. Yeah, of course we don't take that. And then the 9k, we take that, of course, but it's not that scary. It's not that scary. We don't have a Tits, but we can, of course, recycle and find one Tits, so we can play him. And now I was like, okay, you know what? I want to clear the field and play Tits. And I don't want to just go for game, because maybe he has 2 open tones, right? Maybe he has the event, he survived, and then he has big board and he can kill us because we have only 1 Tits to guard us, right? So what we do here is first we KO his Rosinante with our 7 cost Tits, and then we go 10k to his kid to see if he has something, if he has an event to give us, right? And he gives us 2 of his cards. So I go again, 10k, and then we play Marshall the Tits. We stun lock this Smoker of his. We black hole him just in case he has something out of the ordinary, right? Now we have a big defender. We have like so much counter, and he can't do anything at all, of course. At this point, we just win the game. Yeah, I think he played that until the end. Exactly. And the last game that I have for you guys is a leader that does not want to die. So I was like grinding in the in the ranked games in the simulator, and suddenly my third game with Tits was against Lucian. I was like, okay, they banned everything. Moria, Ice Age, and he's still alive. This little dog that does not want to die. But the good thing is that it's a good matchup against us, because now he's more focused on other leaders, not on Blackbeard. They don't play the Kaido anymore, so our purchases are the key here. So we play the Doku, we attack him for 6k. We don't care if they get rid of our Doku, because we will draw a card anyway. And this is exactly what he does here. He plays a Brook, he KOs my Doku, and I don't really care. So I was like, okay, you know what, I will play my burgess. He's already buffed to 6k. I will attack you with another 6k. You're down on 6 life, and he does not have anything yet in his trust. So I was like, okay, you know what, I will not even bother negate your own plays. Then he plays his Kuzan, right? And Kuzan is scary. We don't like Kuzan. So that's why we play here the black hole. We KO this Kuzan. We go ahead and play the Lafitte. We recycle one Kuzan. We grab a Burgess, and then we attack him twice. Once with our leader, once with this Burgess. And I was like here, okay, you know what? He wanted to say healthy, and he gave me many cards. Now he goes 5 to my life. We don't take that, counter that, and he was like thinking for low time if he wants to go all into my Burgess, and he does that. And I let that go. I let that go because then we can buff him more with these my aids. We can kill this Brook and play our Kuzan, bring another Jesus on the field, black hole him now, because now it's starting to be scary with his on plays. The next one we take, and then he attacks us even with his Uta, which is like funny. And then he plays 2 blockers. I was like, okay, you know what? It's okay. You can play whatever you want to. It's a little bit of an awkward hand here. So I was like, okay, you know what? I will go 8k, 10k. He takes one of them, and then I went. I played my 7 cost hits, and I KO'd his Uta. Now he has 1 blocker, and then he starts. He's black hold, right? And he starts these minus things, and I was like, okay, what is coming now? And Zach is coming here, but with our tits, we get to grab another Kuzan. And then I draw another tits, and I was like, okay, you know what? I don't care about the Kuzan. I have now 2 tits, I can chain them, and of course we freeze this Zack, we attack this Zack, he gives us his blocker, and then we attack his life, and he gives us another 1k here. And at this point, I think he started again with this minus in my exactly. I said, yeah, this -3, and I was like, okay. At least this time, if you kill my tits, then you will not have anything left, right? I was like, okay. And then he plays this card, and he KOs my tits, and he attacks me, and I don't take that, of course. And then I draw another tits, and I was like, okay, you know what? I will just chain my tits. So we do that, and I think we don't grab the last tits because we want, of course, to negate his own plays, right? So again, the same game, we freeze his Zack, we KO the character that he played, and we attack his life. He's now down to 2 lives, so he doesn't have many options. That's why we will not even we will not even black hole him, right? So then I go 5 to his life, then 7 to this Mansory, he lets that go, and I play yet another muscle defeats. I freeze him. I was like, okay, you know what? I will also grab a Kuzan, and he's like, okay, there's no way to win that game. And he concedes. So as you can see, the deck is really strong. It feels good. Feel free to try it. Feel free to write me down in the comment section below if you have found anything better than this one, than this build. How are you doing with tits? And what are your thoughts about this leader in the current format? I do think, I strongly believe it's a tier 1 deck. because like I said before, like I mentioned before, you have many good matchups against many decks, and even against the rustics, you have like it's not an auto lose. Yes, without Liberation and without the Shiryu, Zoro is a lot harder to deal with. Belobet is like horror, but also winnable. But also winnable if they don't see the cards that they want to see. It's also winnable. Why? Because if you manage to give them some targets like Lafitte, that's a pseudo blocker, or you can play your Caribous and keep you alive for some turns, right? And then you have you establish a Doku and Vanagur, then you can KO their characters, and that's why I told you Doku is really important, especially for these matchups. And then at 7 you play your Teach and you KO even easier his board. And then if you manage to reach the 10 cost, so the 10 dots, and you play the 10 cost, it's over for them. Of course, in such matchups, you focus on their board and not their life. Okay, guys, so this was the video for today. I hope that you liked it as much as I did. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you all for watching, guys.